Hey everybody, it's Ben Blackman with One Focus Marketing. Thanks for joining me on part 4 of the Over 40 and Overwhelmed About Entrepreneurship series. Today we're going to be talking about which business to start and what you really need to get started in business. So a couple of things that you should know is I'm going to make a disclaimer right here that I am not going to be able to address absolutely everything on this post. That's not what this is about. There's just not enough time to do that. If you need additional help, which you may, if you don't know, exactly what you're going to do and how to start the business, you certainly want to contact a coach or a consultant. Of course, you can contact me. I would love that. That would be great, and we can certainly talk it over and see if we're a good fit. But the other thing is that I realized as I was getting ready to put this post up that I didn't do the accompanying video, so this is kind of being done off the cuff at the last minute. I apologize for that, and so it's going to go out unedited. Actually, most of my videos are unedited, so that's not a big shock. Anyway, so I also have my outline up over here because I always want to make sure that I cover everything that needs to be covered, and I haven't reviewed it entirely, my outline again, so I'll be referencing it quite a bit through here. All right, so let's just talk a little bit about which business to be in. And this is a good question because a lot of people struggle with it, and they want to be entrepreneurs, but they don't know what the heck to do. And now if you already know that, that's great. It's great if you already know what you want to do and you're ready to jump right in. But if you don't, some people ask the question, well, shouldn't I follow my passion? Should I do what I love? That kind of thing. And there's a lot of merit to that. In fact, you've got a lot of people who would advocate that, like Steve Jobs, Anthony Robbins, Michael Jordan, these kinds of guys. They really would be out there saying, hey, yeah, follow your passion, and that's great. And a lot of people can do that. One thing that I would kind of caution you on or share with you is that you want to make sure that your passion is congruent with your goals. And I'm going to kind of give you a little example in my own life. So some of my goals, not all of them obviously, but some of them are that I want to be able to travel anywhere in the world with my kids, be able to work from anywhere, have a passive income coming in whether I work or not, and also in conjunction with that, I want to make enough money to support my youngest child for his entire life. A lot of you guys know that my youngest son is autistic. Now he's a super happy guy. He is so much fun, and it's just he's going to need help. That's just all there is to it. And so my oldest son, I don't want to necessarily put that all on him to do or to deal with necessarily. So I want to make sure that I'm able to support him even after I'm gone. So that being said, if my passion was, say, I'm just throwing something out there, say house painting, say that was my absolute passion, I would do that, every day, all day if I could. Well, is that congruent with my goals? And the answer would probably be no. You can't necessarily do it everywhere. It may not yield the kind of financial results that I would want, and it's not really a passive income because it's labor intensive. So maybe you could start several painting companies, but that's not the same thing as actually doing the painting yourself. So that's getting away a little bit from having the companies versus doing the painting yourself. So that's two different things. So that's what I mean by making sure it's congruent. So what I really advocate are things like doing things that you really enjoy and that you feel like that you could do every day. And so that's why I do what I do. I really enjoy this. I enjoy helping people. I enjoy when they say, hey, thanks, Ben, for putting together this campaign, or thanks for helping coach me into this or that or whatever it is. I just love that kind of stuff. That's great. I just wanted to kind of throw that out there so that you don't get caught up in the whole cycle of, well, I can't, figure out what my passion is, or I can't, do it and make what I want to make or achieve the kind of goals that I want to achieve, whether they're financial goals or not. And so I kind of just wanted to address that. And the guys I was talking about before, with Michael Jordan and Jobs and, or say a Meg Whitman or somebody like that. You can't really argue with their results, but I think they would also say, hey, listen, yeah, you do have to make these two connect, your goals and your passion. So anyway, all right. So let's see. And that's why it's very important to have clear-cut goals and know exactly where you want to go. Because if you don't know what your goals are, it's going to be tough to surround, or, make the business fit that. All right. So let's address a couple of things. Let's just say that you have an idea and you're really excited about it. Now that's great. But one thing you need to know is what if nobody's going to pay you for that idea? You don't want to go out and produce something and put it together and spend the time on it and or money or whatever you have to do just to find out nobody cares. It does not matter how much you like it. What only matters is somebody willing to pay you for it. If they're not, then you're going to have to move on to something else. That's why it's really good not to get married to your idea. Things change. It could be a change in the law. The law could change what business you are going to be in. So you have to be willing to move and progress and step up and do something else if necessary. But once you understand your idea or you have an idea, make sure you validate it. Now, the easiest way to validate it, or one of the easiest ways that you can do it right now, is by doing it through Facebook groups. You can find where your ideal customers hang out in Facebook groups, or you can do it on a LinkedIn group or tons of others. And you just ask them, hey, I've got this idea out there. Is this something you think you'd be willing to pay for? Is this something you think that you would be interested in more information once I get it ready? Or, and you'll get pretty good responses from that. And you may have to post it a few times. Don't just post it one time and give up if nobody responds. That's, you can't do that. You can also ask your friends and family or your friends on Facebook, but a lot of times you don't get the whole answer there. People just won't respond if they don't agree, but the people who do respond may just be trying to, support you, which is great, but, you want to make sure the feedback you're getting is accurate. Because, at 40 or over 40, we're at the point in our lives where, we really don't have a lot of time to sit there and weed through people who are just placating us and telling us what we want to hear. We need to hear the honest truth and move forward. So that's one way that you can validate your idea. So let's say you have no idea. Let's just say you have absolutely no idea what you want to do. What I would suggest you do is write down 20 things that you're really good at. Now you can go as high as 100. If you want to do 100 things, that's great. But do at least 20 things, and then on each of them, ask these questions, and do it for all of them. Don't do it and answer yes to all these questions and then stop at the third one because you answered yes to all the questions. Do it for all these, okay? So for question number 1, and it's in the post, is do I enjoy this? Can I monetize it? Is this something that could grow into something more? And do I want to spend the time validating the idea? If you can't answer yes to all of them, move on. Okay, just mark it off the list. Once you come up with, you're at the end of your list and you have, we'll say you'll probably end up with about half of those where you can answer yes to all of them. Then you want to whittle down those by asking the groups and the Facebook groups, on various ones. You could even run a Facebook ad. You could do that on the other one. You can run a Facebook ad without the product just to kind of get some feedback. You can have what they call a landing page designed. If you don't know what that is, you can certainly contact me. I'll help you with that. And just design a landing page and see if people want to actually give you their email address for more information. So there's really a lot of simple ways to figure out. So now let's say that you do have an idea, but you're not sure how to roll it out and really make money with it. Well, the easiest option there is you're going to need to hire somebody, whether it's me or somebody else. You're probably going to need to hire somebody to help you sort that out. Because there's so many things that have to be done to get your marketing ready and to get your idea ready. So that's really the best and easiest way. Now you can always do something like try to read a lot of books and stuff like that, and that's fine if that's what you want to do. But if you're at the point where you want to save some time and you're willing to invest a little money in yourself and the potential for your business, then you probably want to hire somebody to help you with it. I'm not a big advocate of trying to do everything 100% for free. I just don't think that makes a lot of sense because it's just not feasible. And when we have that mentality of we're trying to do everything for free, then we're probably repelling money anyway. We're not attracting it into our lives. So don't be afraid to hire people when necessary and to use people and their skill set to help you advance the way that you want to advance. And I hope that made sense. So, all right. And by the way, if you don't really know what you want to do out of all this, one of the easiest things you can do is to become a consultant. So you have expertise in some field, some area of your life that you could advise somebody else on. And it's not really hard to set those kind of businesses up. But if it's something that you really enjoy, you can become a consultant pretty easily, and your services are needed by somebody. Somebody does not know how to do what you know how to do, and they're willing to pay you to show them, and that's great. So that's one thing. All right. So here's some questions I get asked about. What do you really need to get started? Do you need a business plan? Do you need a website, business card, tax ID number? Business license, all these things, right? Do you need an accountant? Do you need an attorney? Whatever. And the simple answer to that question is no. You really don't need any of that stuff. Most things you don't need. Really, all you need is a product idea and a paying customer, and that's about it. Now you know that I'm obviously not an attorney, or maybe you don't know that, and I'm not an accountant. Don't know enough about that. What I do know is that until I have money coming through the door, it didn't really make sense for me to spend money on an idea or a potential business where I wasn't sure that it was going to be viable, or I was going to actually move forward with it beyond just a couple of basic sales. So now I'm saying all that because I hear a lot of actually gurus, as they call them, say that, don't worry about all that stuff, and that's true. Or don't focus on your website, don't focus on your business cards or whatever. But let's just look at that for just a minute. One of the most, not one of the most, but a potentially embarrassing situation is when you're out and you're talking to somebody and they ask you what you do, and you kind of tell them, you give them the elevator pitch, and they ask you for a business card, but you don't have one, or you have some crappy card, and you're kind of embarrassed to give it to them, or you're embarrassed that you don't even have one with you. I've been there. I don't like that. Okay, that does not make me feel like I'm in business, and that is part of it. You need to feel like you're in business, like you're running a business, and that's one of the ways that I feel that way. Now, maybe you don't have that. Maybe that doesn't bother you, and that's fine. I'm just saying that for those of us who it does, go ahead, spend a little time. I'm not saying you need to go crazy with it, but go ahead and get you a business card ready, and I feel the same way about a website. I would not spend a ton of time trying to design a website yourself unless that's what you know how to do. I would pay somebody else to do it. It doesn't cost that much, and you can get a pretty good layout done and be out the door for under $200. So, do that. And it'll make you feel more professional, like you're in business. And when you feel that way, you can project that way. So I hope that really made sense to you. The other things you can get as you go along, you don't really have to worry about. Do I need to do the business license? I want you to comply with all local laws and federal and whatever you have, but at the same time, you don't want to spend a lot of time on things that aren't absolutely 100% necessary. So one thing I wanted to point out real quick is, and that's all I really have on this post, is if you have any questions, of course, go to my Ask Ben page and let me know. But when I finish up with I'm coming out with a new Entrepreneur Over 40 Marketing Essentials Kit. If you want that, I'm going to put up a link on the post that you can go ahead and sign up for that, and I'll notify you as soon as it comes out. And on the next post, what I'm going to be talking about is content and how to deal with all of it, so you're not end up pulling your hair out. We just have so many things coming at us. It's hard to filter out, and where do you start? That's the thing, where in the world do you begin with all the content that's out there? So that's it for today, and I really appreciate you bearing with me, and I'll talk to you on the next post. Thanks.